Well, that's an interesting thing to have occurred with the video. I am not sure what you're seeing. If you are seeing anything, I have a black screen. So if there is somebody who has turned up for the Facebook Live today, I know I'm quite a lot earlier than I usually am. It would be pretty darn awesome if you could let me know you're here. I just wanted to get in touch and make sure that we celebrated this week. It's been a tougher week for me. It's not been the most pleasant of weeks. I discussed a lot of this yesterday, and I have decided to give myself a really luxurious early mark today. So I'm actually going to be finishing tools down, tools off by the end of 3 o'clock, which is in just over an hour. So I wanted to make sure that we got together and had an opportunity to celebrate the good in the week. Now, you may not understand that my whole purpose of celebration is to engage us in some gratitude. I think you possibly don't understand the power of gratitude. And I am very lucky to have an amazing person in my life. Her name is Kylie Worry, and she spent a lot of time researching resilience. And I'm grateful for that. She's been writing some blog posts for Purple Co about resilience. Hello, Linda. Can you please tell me if you can see me? Because I can't see me, so it's all a bit weird right now. I can see that you're here, but I can't see me, which is not the usual way this works for me. Anywho, coming back to resilience, what Kylie's writing and research has been able to help me understand is that gratitude is a really powerful thing, which is why I like to celebrate on Fridays. I like to affirm what it is that we're doing well, and I like us to go to a place of gratitude, because that's essentially what will happen. Thank you, Linda. And what I understand from reading Kylie's work is that when we are grateful and we go to a place of gratitude, even if it's something as simple as thank you that I've got a roof over my head, or thank you that I have a bed to sleep in. That's one that I often go to, because there was a period of time in my life when I chose not to be married to my first husband anymore. And one of the things I went without for about 9 months was a bed and a mattress on the floor. It was very awkward and uncomfortable, but that was one of the things I chose to do. So when there are days I'm feeling less than and not very much liking life, I will be grateful that I have a bed to sleep in. Excuse me for a sec. And what gratitude does is it taps us into hope. So while we're feeling hopeless, or like things aren't great, or that we can't keep going, or it's been really tough, the longer we stay in those negative places of it's really hard, it's really difficult, I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough, I can't, I won't, life sucks, it's all hard, it hurts. We spiral down, and we've talked about that a lot, and there's a lot of repetition that goes on, and there's a lot of emotion that goes on with that. But one of the quickest ways we can pull ourselves out of that is to counteract it with hope. One of the easiest ways to get hope back into our world, because who knows, when you're feeling flat and defeated and less than, that you can't kind of go, I'm so hopeful about the future. I mean, if you can, that's awesome. I personally can't do that. And as soon as somebody throws something at me like, Bible verses, people who love to quote Bible verses at me, I'm just like, I can't receive it, I can't hear it. I get a bit offended. People who like to tell me that it's all in God's timing, or, God's got it all under control. It's like, yeah, I get that. But right now it just sucks, and it's hard, and it's horrible. Those platitudes, trite comments as they feel to me, and it's not the intention that people have, it's the meaning I give to it. A better way for me to go to reinvigorate my sense of hope is to go to a place of gratitude, because gratitude allows me to break that cycle of woe is me, poor me, because you know what? Sometimes it is hard. Oh, Brad Williams, good afternoon. Sometimes it is hard. Sometimes stuff will get in the way that is difficult. We've had bushfire threats completely out of my control. Sometimes you'll have people in your world who'll get sick. Sometimes you'll have people in your world who won't do the things the way you want them to do. Customers will leave you. Governments will change policy, and a job or work you thought you were going to get is no longer available. But if we focus on woe is me and how bad and poor me and all of that stuff, then we're just going to keep repeating that cycle. So let's practice gratitude. And the best way I know how to help you do that is I want you to grab your book of evidence. I brought mine with me today because I have something brand new to put into it. So this is the very first book of evidence that was ever created. That's why it doesn't look like this one, which is the one I'm hoping most of you will now have. Some of you will have the one that's in between, which I actually don't have a copy of because they all sold. And yes, this has been going for a while, so it's starting to get very full and very fat, and it's got lots of pieces of paper in it because, you know, I like to collect the real evidence. So, you know, there's no good the evidence just being me writing it. Sometimes I need to have other people's evidence. Oh, this was really cool. I found my very first business card when I went out into business on my own and stuck it in my book of evidence. But what I had a customer this week who helped me see something really, yeah, Brad, you have a week of cancellations and then that eats into your cash flow and then you kind of go, ah. Anywho, I had a customer. She's been around for a long time. She's a very big supporter of mine and of Purple Co's. And I'd been telling her about a new potential customer because I was, you know, as we do, trying to get some background and do the stalking by talking about reputations and what they like to work with and things. And I explained to her that this potential new customer, where he'd come from and how he'd heard about the work that we've done and the scope of work. I mean, it's a really big piece of work with a very, very nice 6-figure price tag attached to it. I've never, ever done that before. That's really cool. She called me up later and she said, do you realize where this guy has come from? And the fact that he has come to you not once, but twice, asking for your advice and indicating that he is keen for you to do this piece of work is quite amazing. Because I had a customer in my life and we had a falling out. And you will have that if you operate your business from value-based decisions. There will be times when you have customers and they stop having a common value with you, and you will have to make a decision about whether or not you want to keep doing their work. So I had that situation happen with a very big customer that I had worked with for a long period of time, but it just got to the point where we no longer had common goals. And it got ugly and it wasn't very nice and I didn't appreciate it. I hid for a long time. Well, this gentleman, this new potential customer, was around when that was going on. Now, since that falling out, my business has needed to change and I've had to rebuild our reputation and do a few things differently. But what my long-term Purple Co customer was able to say to me was, Jo, I think you can put to rest all of the fear-mongering, the less than attitude that I can go into when I want to take something new to market for fear of what that ugly breakup might do for my new idea. She was able to help me see that we have gone beyond that, that I have gone beyond that, and that I can now celebrate the fact that our work stands on its own and not by the social proof that comes with that other customer that I've had the breakup with. So that is what I have added to my book of evidence today. There have been times in my career where I've stood up for my clients, I've stood up for my customers, I've stood up for myself, and it has not gone well. I think we've probably all got situations like that. But this is the first time I can remember where something did not go well, where I have walked through with my integrity intact, my values intact, and realized that I've gotten through to the other end, and at the other end, it is good. And it is going to be better than what it was if I'd stayed stuck back where I was. So that is the entry that I have made into my book of evidence today. So if you don't have one, Christmas is coming up. Why don't you get them? I've got about 30 left and I would really love to sell them all by the end of the year. So you can get them on the website. I would love for you, if you are sitting there today and you brought it with you, I want you to spend 5 minutes thinking about something you can be grateful for. And then I want you to open a page and I want you to write it in here. So, you know, Linda, you can be grateful for your family who love you and that you care for them with such compassion. Brad, you have grown an incredible business that is so unique that everybody wants to have a part of. And everybody wants to pick your brain. Oh, Kate, it's lovely to see you. Kate, you need to put something in here. You change lives every day. You possibly just don't get to see the fruit of that. So thank you for all the work that you do. So please spend 5 minutes today writing down something that you are grateful for about yourself, because I am grateful for every single one of you when you turn up. I'm grateful for all of you who watch these replays. I am grateful that I get to do this work every single day. So I am going to go and treat myself to an early mark this afternoon. I look forward to connecting with you all again next week. So until Monday, go be your awesome self.